Good morning and welcome to the Dallas Download, your quick look at what's trending, what's happening, and what everyone's talking around DFW. I'm Kayla and we've got a lot to get into today, so let's jump right in.
Stuff it into tortillas, into pitas, and have your family just enjoy this easy grab-and-go option.
Reminds us of all of those fantastic destinations in our backyard that we want to explore.
All that and more right here on the Dallas Download.
A parent's worst nightmare is not knowing the truth about what happened to their child. That's the mystery at the center of Netflix's new thriller, I Will Find You. The series follows a father serving time for his son's murder who suddenly receives evidence that his child may still be alive, setting off a desperate search for answers. Today, we're joined by Milo Ventimiglia, who stars as Hayden in the limited series. Welcome to the show, Milo. How are you?
Well, Dan, how are you this morning?
I'm doing good. For people who haven't started I Will Find You yet, what grabbed you about this story and made you want to be part of it?
The complexity, as well as, being a parent myself and God forbid anything happens to your child, you're going to go to the ends of the earth to find out what's going on and hopefully get your kid back to safety. But, I found a lot of common ground with Harlan Coben and Robbie Hull, our showrunner, and was excited to do scene work with Sam Worthington and Britt Lauer and Jonathan Tucker and Logan Browning and everybody involved. Shot McBride, who, it's funny, like in my 30 years of filmmaking, like I've been on set with just about everybody on the cast to work, to be reunited and work again. So it's just go spend a summer with my friends making something cool.
Hayden becomes involved in a mystery that's filled with twists and secrets. What can you tell us about your character and where he fits into this story?
So Hayden Payne, I play a wealthy philanthropist who was previously connected to Britt Lauer's character, Rachel, who is the previous sister-in-law, former sister-in-law to David, Sam Worthington's character. When he breaks out of prison and goes on the hunt for his son, I come into the fold as someone who's just wanting to help. I'm there to help, use my resources, my time, whatever I can to help this man find his son.
And the series, it balances suspense, family drama, and a lot of emotional stakes. What was it like bringing those different elements together as an actor?
We're constantly doing that, role to role, job to job, show to show. You're always bringing together that complexity. But, this one was delicate because of what we were set to dance around, the real mystery, the people that were involved in this covering up of a boy who was killed. It was just a complex role, but it was, very exciting to be a part of.
Okay, so without giving anything away, what do you think audiences will be talking about after they finish I Will Find You?
Never saw it coming. God, that was fun. I think I want to watch it again to see if I can figure out if they tipped their hat in any way in the beginning of the show. It's just a great ride. It's entertaining, self-contained, and a lot of heart.
Hey, I want to thank you for being here today. I Will Find You is now streaming on Netflix. You can find the series and watch all the episodes at netflix.com or on your Netflix app. Hey, Milo, I want to thank you for joining me today.
No problem. Thanks, Dave.
Looking for a few new ideas in the kitchen this summer? You don't need complicated recipes to make meals that look and taste great. Joining us today is chef, best-selling author, and Queer Eye star Antoni Porowski with simple ways to make summer cooking easier and more delicious. Welcome, Antoni.
Thank you so much for having me.
So what are some easy ways to elevate summer cooking?
Well, again, what I learned on Queer Eye is meeting people where they're at, and what's easy to one person might be really challenging to another. That's where Fresh Express comes in. A wonderful selection of bagged salad kits that basically come ready as they are. You just have to assemble them. If you're like me and you can't help yourself and you want to customize them, that's what I did with 2 of these dishes here. So you can make it as simple or as complicated as you like.
Can you tell us about some of the recipes that you're making today?
Yes. Okay, so the twisted pesto Caesar, which my new favorite combination is pesto with Caesar. I went ahead and took the croutons that came in a little bag and I just crushed them in my hand, or you can roll them out with a rolling pin until it's a nice breadcrumb texture. Added some chopped almonds. You can add pine nuts or whatever nuts you have laying around, or skip nuts altogether. Some lemon zest, basil, Parmesan. Crusted a nice salmon fillet in the oven at 400 for about 8 to 10 minutes. And then I wanted croutons, but I wanted a nice little chew because I wanted this to be a filling meal that would just last me throughout the day and into the night. And so I took one of those polenta wheels that you can get at a grocery store, cut it up into little cubes, patted them dry, tossed with paprika, parm, olive oil, salt, pepper, throw them in an air fryer or the oven, and you have nice, chewy little nuggets of polenta. And finally, grapes. I feel like everyone's got them laying around in their fridge. Cut them in half. Let them sit in a little bit of red wine vinegar while you prepare everything else, and you have a nice little pickly, acidic crunch, and then you have a whole meal.
And what are some simple ways to spend less time meal prepping during the week?
I mean, I think a lot of people are into meal prep and, buying ahead. My big suggestion, or what I'm encouraging people to do, is don't over-season with anything. If you're using a whole salmon section, for example, just use olive oil, a little bit of salt and pepper. So then you kind of have a neutral canvas that you can kind of customize either on different selections of fresh express salads or just as a snack on its own with a little bit of mayo or whatever it is that you like to put on there. Chicken breast, I feel like, is so easy and comes together quickly. But that said, some people can't even be bothered with that. We all have really busy days. Go to the grocery store, get a rotisserie chicken. Again, get one that's like lemon pepper or something really nice and simple. And then you can toss it in whatever you like, and you can kind of choose your own adventure. And
I hear viewers even have a chance to cook with you this summer. How can they enter?
They sure do. So 25 people are going to be cooking alongside me virtually. If you go to freshexpresscontest.com, we're going to be making one of these salads from start to finish, my own version of it, with a whole bunch of little simple add-ons and like tips and tricks with things you probably have laying around at home that you can add and incorporate into future dishes.
And one more time, where can our viewers go for more information?
freshexpresscontest.com, and that's the Cooking with Antoni contest.
Antoni, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Summer can get expensive pretty quickly. Between grocery bills, family get-togethers, and keeping the kids busy, it doesn't take long for the cost to add up. Joining us today is Griffin Buch, a prime savings expert with practical ways families can save money and time throughout the summer. Welcome, Griffin. How are you?
Hey, Kayla, I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. And that's right, summer is in full swing, which means it's all about making memories. And with Prime, we're making entertaining a little bit more affordable for customers.
So summer entertaining can get expensive. What are some ways Prime members can save time and money on groceries during the summer months?
Well, what I would recommend is let same-day delivery do the heavy lifting. For example, Prime members get free same-day delivery on orders over $25 in most areas, first of all. And Amazon's got everyday low prices on the widest variety of items. Customers can feel great, too, knowing that our prices meet or beat many other major retailers. For example, this summer we've got great prices on entertaining essentials like these party-sized chips. We've also got these items, the party-sized chips and the macaroni salads start at $2. Under $10, we've got a variety of grilling meats, things like these Amazon grocery ground beef burgers, chicken thighs. We've also got ballpark hot dogs, all those items, grilling essentials under $10. And you can't forget about the produce, essential summer produce items. We've got some corn, we've got some watermelon, we've got some berries. Those items start under $4 all summer long. Truly fantastic prices. But what I am most excited about is Whole Foods Market from now until July 7th has 50% off ice cream and frozen treats for Prime members, whether they shop in-store or online. It's the perfect way to wrap up any summer event, barbecue with a nice sweet treat.
And for families receiving SNAP benefits, stretching the grocery budget is especially important. How can they take advantage of grocery savings and added convenience?
It's incredibly important, and Amazon offers discounted Prime membership to government assistance recipients and income-verified customers through Prime Access. This summer, Prime Access customers will see a $5 grocery credit in their accounts for everyday essential grocery items on orders over $25. Those are things like baby food, breakfast items, snacks, and a variety of other items. And folks can go over to Amazon Access to explore other ways to make grocery shopping more affordable this summer. Amazon also offers SNAP-eligible customers to shop EBT-eligible items from Amazon Fresh, Amazon.com, and Whole Foods Market.
And besides saving money, what are some simple ways to make summer entertaining easier and less stressful?
I would recommend shopping based on what's in season. For example, produce items like corn. A corn and tomato salad is delicious this time of year. Always keep a watermelon in the fridge. It's super easy to slice up, super refreshing, and makes a great snack. And best of all, maybe top anything and everything with fresh berries that are in season right now. It's easy on the wallet and tastes great. Customers should also keep an eye out for the Freshness Guarantee badge on perishable items from Amazon. Things like meat, seafood, produce, and frozen items. That Freshness Guarantee badge guarantees that items will arrive to customers' doors as expected, or Amazon will make it right.
And where can people go for more information or to learn more about these programs?
Customers can just go to amazon.com/prime to explore all the benefits of membership, and go to amazon.com/getprime access to see if they qualify.
Griffin Buch, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
If you've ever leaned in to give your dog a cuddle and thought, whoa, what's that smell? You're definitely not alone. Bad breath is one of the biggest complaints pet parents have, but thankfully there are some easy things you could do about it. Joining us now is pet parenting expert Kristen Levine with some simple tips to keep our pup's breath fresher. Kristen, thanks for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure to be here and to bring Tulip along with me, my pupper. We love spending these up close moments together, and I'm glad we're talking about bad dog breath, because bad dog breath kind of gets in the way of those close moments.
So what are the biggest reasons dogs end up with bad breath?
Typically, bad breath in your dog is because of bacteria that's built up on their teeth, and it hardens over time into tartar and plaque. And that's a really important sign to pay attention to. It suggests that you need to pay more attention to your dog's oral health care routine.
And what are some easy habits people can start today to help keep their dog's mouth healthier?
Yeah, well, the first habit, and most importantly, you need to see your vet annually. And part of that wellness checkup will include a dental exam. And your vet can tell you if it's time for your dog to have a professional teeth cleaning or not. Dental disease is very common in dogs age 3 or older. So definitely don't skip those vet visits. Secondly, there's something you can do at home. And I would say try to brush your dog's teeth. A lot of people kind of chuckle when I say that, but there are some simple ways to do it. They make now like a toothbrush that you put over your finger, and you can just use your finger to go across your dog's teeth and gums. Some dogs will tolerate that before they'll tolerate a toothbrush. You also want to make sure your dog always has fresh, clean water, because dehydration or thirst can actually exacerbate bad dog breath. And then finally, Tulip's favorite habit and my favorite habit is implementing treat time into their daily routine with a treat like Minty's Fresh Bites, because that is going to support their oral hygiene, as well as just build another one of those fun moments that you can have together.
And as you just mentioned, those dental treats, what should we look for, and where do Minty's Fresh Bites fit into that routine?
Yeah, well, I would always suggest that you look for ingredients that support fresh breath, of course, a treat that has really good texture that your dog will enjoy chewing, and ideally something with low calories so that you can treat them multiple times a day. And that's why we use Minty's Fresh Bites, because it checks all of those boxes. They're made with 5 different natural breath freshening herbs, things like peppermint and parsley, and they're only 7.5 calories a piece. So I actually give Tulip 3 or 4 a day, and I don't have to worry about that being too many calories for her little body.
And my dear, if someone wants more pet care tips, where can we go?
Just visit mintys.com, and you can pick those Minties up at Walmart, Chewy, and Petco.
Kristen, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
My pleasure.
Wedding season, backyard parties, girls' night, and even summer weekends, it feels like everyone is looking for a signature drink right now. And one cocktail that's getting a lot of attention is called the French Blonde. Eddie Johnson from Bombay Sapphire is here to show us what it is and why people can't stop talking about it. Welcome, Eddie. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Doing good. I'm glad to hear that. So first things first, what is the French Blonde, and why is it suddenly everywhere this summer?
Okay, so the French Blonde is absolutely delicious. It's one of my favorite cocktails. And I think the reason why everyone loves it is it's a kind of a mix of familiar classic cocktails that we all know and love, right? You're going to get some bright, fresh citrus from the grapefruit juice and the Bianco vermouth, some florality and fruit from the Saint Germain elderflower liqueur. And of course, it's all tied together by bright and beautiful botanicals of Bombay Sapphire. So really, this is a drink that works for any occasion, you know, whether it's like backyard cookout or more of a black tie affair, you know, and with wedding season coming right up, you know, there's 2.5 million weddings already in progress or planned. So it really is just so fitting for wedding season. And I think the coolest part, you know, the phrase, right? Something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue, usually like an earring or ribbon or something like that. It's Bombay Sapphire. Your something blue gets to be something everyone can enjoy, especially with the French Blonde.
And for someone watching at home, how do you make one, and what ingredients should they have on hand?
Okay, so this is the thing. This cocktail is super easy to make, and everything you need to make it, you can get from your local grocery store or your favorite bottle shop. So we can get into it, you know? So I start with the Jula Gin, Bombay Sapphire. Hit it with 1 ounce Bombay, jump to 3/4 ounce of Saint Germain, a 1/2 ounce of your Bianco vermouth, and then 1.5 ounces of grapefruit juice. Now to tie it all together, I just give it a pop, one little dash of lemon bitters. Gonna add some brightness and some bitterness, and then throw your ice right in the tin. And now you gotta give it a nice firm shake, and you gotta shake like you mean it. You want the cocktail just perfectly cold. I'm waiting for that little bit of frost to develop on the outside of the tin, about 10 to 15 seconds. That'll do it. And then give it a nice little strain into a beautiful coupe glass. And I want to get every drop here because we don't waste around here. Give it that last little shake. And then to top it off, give it a garnish of grapefruit zest. And that's the French Blonde. Cheers.
And what makes Bombay Sapphire the right gin for this drink?
Great question. Look, to put it simply, Bombay Sapphire makes cocktails brighter. The reason why, if you look across the gin category, most gin is using a process that cooks their botanicals on direct heat. And when you do that, you get kind of the darkest, most caramelized expression out of those botanicals. Bombay Sapphire, we put it through a process called vapor infusion. We see things just a little bit differently, right? We want those botanicals that we carefully selected to express how they actually taste in nature rather than their cooked expression. So always with Bombay Sapphire, you can count on a bright, fresh expression from all those botanicals. And honestly, I think it's why Bombay is one of the most versatile gins out there and works for every cocktail you put it in, especially the French Blonde. And
my friend, where can people go for more information?
So if you want this recipe or any other recipe, or if you're just looking for where you can find a bottle locally, go to bombaysapphire.com. Everything you need will be right there.
Eddie Johnson, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me. See you soon.
A lot of people are looking for ways to stretch their money beyond just a paycheck. At the same time, investing can still feel intimidating if you're not sure where to start. Jared Hubbard from Plink is joining us today to share why dividend investing is getting more attention and how new tools are helping make investing easier to navigate. Welcome, Jared.
Thank you for having me.
So, Jared, why do you think so many Americans are looking for additional ways to generate income right now?
I think there's a wide variety of reasons why Americans are focused on generating additional income. I think you could look at the increased economic pressure people are feeling, financial uncertainty, and even just the changing of attitudes towards how people view work and wealth. And I don't think this is a trend that's going to be going away anytime soon, in particular when it comes to investing and dividend investing. I think this is an idea of a way that people are realizing I could take a little bit more control over my finances and maybe make my money work harder for me.
And we hear the term dividend investing more and more these days. What exactly is it and why is it becoming so popular?
Yeah, so dividend investing is investing into stocks, ETFs or mutual funds that pay dividends. And when I say pay dividends, I'm referring to cash payments that are coming out of the company's profits that they're paying back towards their shareholders, typically on a quarterly basis every 3 months, but that can vary on security to security. As far as it growing in popularity, again, I think it's that realization that, hey, if I'm having a long-term investment strategy, I might be able to create a passive income strategy on top of that and making that money that I'm already investing work harder for me. And here at Plink, we're offering a 25% dividend boost. So if you own positions that pay dividends, we will match those payments by 25% up to $250 annually.
And how are newer investing tools and technology helping people feel more comfortable getting started?
Yeah, so technology has really been breaking down barriers when it comes to the investing world. You could look at the reduction of costs across the board. You can look at the simplification of decision-making for investors, all in all with the idea of making it more available to the common investor, right? It's something that's not solely for a more wealthy or just experienced investor. And with applications like Plink, you could start investing with as little as $1 and get tailored, customized content to you, along with a easy user interface.
And what are some common mistakes people make when they're investing for income?
Yeah, one common mistake people make when it comes to investing can be, the failure to invest with the thought process that they don't have enough money, right? Inaction is an action when it comes to the investing world. And with applications like Plink and investment platforms that allow you to begin trading with as little as $1, that's something that can be taken advantage of now. And you did mention, when it comes to dividend investing, one specific mistake that I'll throw out is dividend yield chasing, right? You might be able to be looking for high dividend yielding paying stocks. But there definitely can be some red flags when it comes to that if you're just chasing high yields.
And my friend, where can viewers go for more information?
So we are available to download within the iOS App Store, along with the Android Google Play Store, and that's Plink. And you can also go to plinkinvest.com.
Jared Hubbard, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
This summer already feels like a busy one, and with America's 250th birthday around the corner, a lot of families are looking for ways to celebrate. Marissa Brainey is here with some fun and practical ideas for the season. Welcome, Marissa. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks so much for having me.
So, Marissa, with America's 250th coming up, how are you looking at summer entertaining this year?
It is such a special summer, and whether you're hosting that backyard barbecue or hitting a block party, we want our food to reflect that excitement. We want it to be delicious, we want it to look great, but we want it to be stress-free. And so sweet-grown cherries from the Northwest are my ultimate 4th of July hosting hack. These bring this gorgeous pop of red to your table. They complement your red, white, and blue spread, but they're really the sweet taste of summer in a bowl as well. And beyond looking and tasting fantastic, they're also great for you. They're packed with fiber, vitamin C. They have antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. And with every bag of Northwest-grown sweet cherries, you're telling a real American story, because sweet cherry growing actually started in the Pacific Northwest nearly 180 years ago. So with every time you serve these, you're supporting generations of family farms and local communities, of course, available at supermarkets nationwide, or visit nwcherries.com for more.
And lots of families are planning summer trips to celebrate this historic milestone. Are there any tips you have for making that happen without spending a fortune?
Absolutely. And this really is the summer to hit the road, because America's 250th reminds us of all of those fantastic destinations in our backyard that we want to explore. So plan smart to stretch that dollar so you can do it. And that's where Travelodge by Wyndham comes in. They have properties around the country, making them a really affordable and convenient home base for an adventure. Plus, about 70% of Travelodge properties are within an hour's drive of a national park. Plus, they have a decade-long partnership with the National Parks Conservation Association. So they're really trying to help preserve those iconic places for generations to come. I love that they have a variety of promotions happening right now, including up to 20% off your stay. And Wyndham Rewards members save even more. Visit Travelodge.com to start planning that road trip.
And for the folks staying closer to home, are there any products helping make summer hosting a little easier?
Absolutely. Those home hosting helpers are key. And I love American-made companies, especially with this big birthday here in our country. Whirlpool Corporation is the only major kitchen and laundry appliance company based and owned here in the U.S. Founded in 1911, they've never left. And their family of brands, KitchenAid, Maytag, Whirlpool, and more, are trusted in 3 out of 4 American homes. So let's start in the kitchen with the KitchenAid Plus Artisan Stand Mixer. This new version has so many cool new features, including an LED bowl light, precision speed control, a double flex edge beater, and for the first time in a tilt head mixer, a half speed setting for that extra control. And we can't talk about summer without talking summer stains. So we need some stain fighting power, and the Maytag Pet Plus Pro laundry system is going to help us do that. It has a built-in filter to remove pet hair, plus the OxyCycle removes 99.7% of odor-causing bacteria. Also gives you some extra agitation to really get those stains out and keep those 4th of July festive family outfits looking their best.
And my friend, where can people go for more tips and information?
Just head to my website. It's marissabrainey.com and go to the blog section.
Marissa Brainey, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
Summer can be busy, and sometimes figuring out what's for dinner feels like a job all by itself. The good news is there are some simple ways to make meal prep easier while still putting something nutritious on the table. Joining us today is Sarah Haas, a registered dietitian, chef, and recipe developer with some easy ideas for making eggs work harder in your summer meal routine. Welcome, Sarah. How are you?
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm great. How are you?
Doing good. I'm glad to hear that. So Sarah, for busy families, how can picking up an extra carton of eggs help make those hectic summer schedules a little easier?
I think the best part about eggs is that you can cook them ahead of time. So I'm all about batch prepping meals, and that's where eggs really shine. So pick up that carton of eggs. You can easily turn it into a variety of dishes that you and your family can enjoy throughout the week. It's a nourishing option, an easy add to so many things that you're probably already doing too. And that means more time for enjoying summer, less time stressing about what's for lunch or dinner, which is awesome.
And what are some easy egg hacks that can make meal prep quicker and simpler throughout the week?
All right, so I have two that are my favorite. One is to pick up that carton of eggs and hard boil them. And then once they're cool, I add them to my refrigerator. They'll last in the shelf for 7 days. So that means when someone's asking me what's for lunch, what's for dinner, I'm hungry, I say, go to the refrigerator. We've got a whole bunch of hard-boiled eggs ready for you to enjoy. And as I mentioned before, they're such an easy add to things you're already doing. So my daughter loves grain bowls, for example. So you can eat them, you can add them, you can eat them, you should eat them. Put them right on top of your grain bowl, for example. We're also making a bunch of pasta salads during the summer, so you can easily throw an egg right on top of that, or just enjoy it as is because they're delicious. The other hack is to make them on a sheet pan, scrambled eggs on a sheet pan. You just literally pour the eggs after you whisk them onto a baking sheet, bake it, then you can cut it into any shape you want, stuff it into tortillas, into pitas, and have your family just enjoy this easy grab and go option, and whatever is left over, you can freeze and enjoy later.
And we usually think of eggs as a breakfast food. What are some fun ways to use them in summer recipes?
Right. So as I mentioned, you can hard boil a bunch of eggs, and that just makes it easy. And then you can grab it and put it on things you're already doing. So I had this roasted vegetable grain bowl, which the base is a whole grain farro is what I'm using, but you could use anything here, quinoa, wild rice, whatever. And then if you like to grill, I love to grill, throw some extra vegetables on the grill. You can easily add that and then put your hard-boiled eggs on top. Perfect for summer. I also mentioned the pasta salad. I grew up on pasta salad. We had pasta salad at every summer meal. So easy way to elevate, add a little protein to your pasta salad is add a hard-boiled egg. So these are some just really easy ideas that you can use for your whole family throughout the entire summer.
And can you talk about why eggs are such a great source of protein and an easy way to pair in more vegetables?
Yeah, so each egg supplies 6 grams of complete protein, which means it has all 9 essential amino acids, which means it's ready for your body to use, which I know we all love because we need that energy. And I love that eggs are so versatile. As you can see here, there's a variety of ways to cook them and serve them. Plus, they partner with so many other foods that maybe we don't eat enough of, but should. Like I mentioned, the whole grains, lots of vegetables. And I love that they are so great with a variety of flavors. So my daughter loves pesto, so she'll put pesto on her eggs. I love hot sauce, so I'll put hot sauce on it. But they also hold up to like really delicate stuff like lemon juice, vinaigrettes, things like that. So really you can fit anyone's palate, which is amazing.
And there's some new research getting attention right now. What does it show about eggs and brain health?
Right. It's very exciting. So eggs are a good source of choline, which is an important nutrient for brain health throughout all stages of life, including brain development when you're little. And then also as you get older for mood and memory. And the recent study in the journal Nutrition found that people who consumed eggs had a lower risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. And in that same study, people who consumed 5 or more eggs during the week were more likely to have a 27% decrease in developing Alzheimer's compared to people who didn't eat any eggs at all. So eggs are perfect for brain health.
And where can people go to learn more and find some of these great recipes?
For more information and to get all these great recipes, go to incredibleegg.org.
Sarah Haas, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
And that's going to do it for this edition of the Dallas Download. Thanks for hanging out with us. Be sure to follow along for more stories, more trends, and even more from your own city. We'll see you next time on the show we like to call the Dallas Download.